Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and kicking off today we are with Jack Spurgeon. Jack, thank you so much for being on today. He is bringing us some very helpful advice and some tips on a topic I don't think we've ever talked about relating to fires, and that's grease fires. Yeah. I had to do a double take when I found out what we were talking to you about. I was like, grease fires? What are grease fires? I was thinking all sorts of things. What are grease fires?
Well, when we talk about the grease fires, obviously we use those type of products when we do some cooking. I know there's many various types of, you know, from olive oils to corn oils. So we have those at use when we cook, and so cooking fires are still the #1 cause of residential house fires. So
wow, I had no idea.
They are, you know, the leading cause, and we want to make sure everybody is aware of how to deal with those. You know, we don't want them to get burnt in the process of putting them out, because we have seen numerous instances we respond on where people try to splash water on them. In various ways they try to put them out and they end up getting burned. So there's products out there that will help them.
Okay, so what do we do first? What are they usually cooking? I mean, they're just on top, a stove top is what you're talking about, right? And they're just cooking with probably like Crisco.
Right, generally what happens is people get distracted.
Okay.
Or, you know, they'll think, well, I'll answer the phone right quick, or I'll check on my child right quick, and they just step away. Or obviously the stove may malfunction and the eye get hotter than what the thermostat's set for, which creates some problems. So, you know, obviously fuel, heat, and oxygen have to come together to make complete combustion. So there's ways that you can eliminate those by removing them from the stove eye to get the heat away from them, which, you know, we talk about pot holders and mittens and stuff like that. Have them close,
for sure.
And then, or put a lid on top of it, or maybe throw some baking soda or some flour on top of it, but never use a wet rag per se or throw water on it, because what you do is you just spread the fuel.
I have a little fire extinguisher in my kitchen, I mean right by my stove.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to have, but now there's a product out there, Firestop, that's been around for quite a few years. It was called various things, and they've modified it to make it a lot better, that you just put over your stove. And I have one of those for the range hoods. Okay. You get a pair of these, and basically this will cover. You buy 2 of them that comes in a pack, and they're usually around $45 or $50. You can get them places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. But what happens is you'll put that, and it'll mount on your range hood between the 2 eyes on the right side. You put it right in the center of those, and then you put the other one on the left side between those. That was a good thing.
I mean, this is brilliant.
Yeah, and they also make a different kind, because a lot of people now, instead of putting the range hoods over top of their stoves, they're using the microwaves with the vents that take the same grease fumes and stuff away from that. So they're configured just a little bit different to fit up under the microwave, and does the same principle to cover all 4 eyes. And people sometimes are concerned about these maybe giving a false going off falsely just because maybe they generate too much heat, but these are actually flame is what generates the thing to put those out, so you won't get a false discharge with these. And if you have problems with the magnet not hooking to them, you can call the company, which they give you an 800 number. They've got brackets that they'll send you free of charge to help mount these. So these are great. Yes. Yeah,
these are amazing.
And it takes the, you know, the uncertainty, the fear, maybe if you had a grease fire, what do I do? How do I put it out? These things will activate
before you probably even had a chance to think what to do. This would already react. Right. So is it just like a chemical or something that comes out?
It's pretty much designed sort of like the fire extinguisher you were talking about there. So that way you don't have to pull the pin and aim and all that kind of stuff. This is right here. You won't even have to get near the flames and stuff. This will take care of it. These things have numerous testimonies of how well they've kept damage down in house fires, because usually it's the combustibles around the kitchen that catch on fire after the grease fires happen. Or always remember, if you have something catch on fire in the oven, just keep the oven door closed, and you know, don't try to open it up so it can flash out and stuff like that. Just leave it closed so you won't have any problems with it that way.
Well, are we missing anything? Anything we need to add?
No, we just always like to get the information out on the particulars that are creating these fires for our folks at home, because, you know, obviously our leading cause of deaths in residential structures, so this is the only way we can get that information out. If people do have concerns about various things around the house, they can call us and we'll walk them through the safety aspects of that, or you know, if they live inside the city, we'll come out and do some fire safety walkthroughs in their homes to make their lifestyle a little more safer and feel a little more comfortable about everything.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on and for introducing us to these Firestops. Some of you probably knew about these, but this is the first time I learned. I love coming on the show when I learn something. It's fantastic. So I appreciate you being on, and I'm sure we'll see you soon. And stay with us. We'll be right back.